One of the other benefits of claiming that you had no plan, no inclination, no desire to fire the head coach until you walk into the locker room after the playoff loss to the Broncos is that it covers up any possibility that there was a power play.
Yeah.
That this was Game of Thrones. And that came up yesterday, and it's like a long 3-minute clip, and I'm going to post it all at PFT. I've been waiting, because part of it, too, is I didn't want to have 25 Bills stories yesterday. I mean, I could have. I think we had 7. I think the number's 7 so far from that press conference alone. But the issue of the power play came up, and the way it went, we don't have that clip because, again, it's too long. But Brandon Beane started to answer the question in a very calm, rational way. Then Terry Pegula interrupts and says basically, hey, I don't like power play guys. If I thought he was making a power play, he'd be gone too, or words to that effect. And at that point, it goes back to Beane, and Beane's pissed. Beane like had a chance to gather his thoughts and get indignant about it, and did the whole I go home and my wife's crying thing. Like there's a point where you got to be careful when you play that card, because I'm not saying it didn't happen. You just got to be careful what you say out loud, because it looks like you're trying to twist it all around and make the reporters feel bad. I get upset when anybody even says that. Well, I mean, welcome to the NFL, because that shit happens in the NFL. People do make power plays. It does happen. These can be toxic, poisonous environments where you've got the lieutenants scrambling around to win the favor of ownership and also to stick a knife in someone else's back. And when Sean McDermott gets fired and Brandon Beane gets promoted, at the same freaking moment, in the same damn press release that says Sean McDermott did an admirable job, yeah, people are going to think that there was something going on. And maybe another benefit, as I said a moment ago, in saying, I didn't even know I was going to do this until I walked into the locker room, people aren't going to think that Brandon Beane was pushing buttons.
Yeah,
and
we haven't been talking about this for a few weeks, right?
And knowing at some point the shit's going to hit the fan here.
Right.
And when it does, it's going to splash on him, not on me.
Yeah, I hear you there. That's where I don't buy that this was I just made the decision in the locker room. If that's the case, then it makes me think less of Terry Pegula, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but that's not the right way to approach owning a football team and making a decision like that. That just would be my 2 cents. I have a hard time believing.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Guess what?
What?
Guess what? You're going to get fired and I'm going to get promoted.
Yeah, right. I have a hard time believing that this wasn't discussed a little bit. And I don't know necessarily, I don't feel like Brandon Beane made a power play in all this. But at the same time, when he hears this is going to go down, he knows it's going to look a little negatively on him as well, to where maybe that's the point he makes to ownership to go, I'm going to take a lot of crap for this, blah, 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 blah. And maybe this is what they do to kind of reward him to go, hey, you're here because we still like you. And we'll make that point to everybody, and by promoting you and doing that, I don't know. I don't know, but either way, it is odd how it all unfolded.
And look, this is not an indictment of the character of Brandon Beane. This is commentary on a situation that too many owners allow to exist, because when you create unequal accountability, human nature is going to kick in. When it's time to worry about losing your job, you don't want to lose your job. And that's why I'm a big believer in they either both go or they both stay. These half measures, it sends a bad message, and it lets people think when things are getting a little dicey, I may have to blame somebody else in order to keep myself from getting blamed. And that's not inherent in anyone's character. That's inherent to a situation that ownership allowed to create. And the end result here, I think, makes it seem even stronger that, hey, this is exactly what we see. The owner made a choice between talent and coaching. And he decided that talent was there, so the guy in charge of it gets promoted, and he decided the coaching was lacking, so that guy gets fired. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.